What's up, everybody? What is going on? How are you doing today? Well, I hope you're doing good because we're about to start another episode of Hybridcraft. I'm Spartan Overdrive, and this is the Minecraft series where we like to do all the things. The thing we did last episode is right behind us. We are currently standing on what will one day be the beach area of Flora Springs. Flora Springs is the flower forest island that's kind of the main attraction for all the relaxation in our area. And if you hear a lot of clip-clappity in the background, it's because I'm recording. My dog knows it. She decides, I gotta ruin the intro to this episode. But I tell you what, I'm not doing it over again. We're gonna go with it. So let's take a look at some of the things that I've added to this place to make it a little bit more magical. I think the first thing that's gonna stand out is the fact that we got all these flowers everywhere. I went through and planted a poop ton of them using a lot of bone meal, and I had to go through some other biomes to get like the blue flowers and all that good stuff, but that's pretty obvious. Also, I decided to put some of these end rods in here to make it feel a little bit more magical and to give this place the proper lighting in the dark. So I think that worked out pretty good. And then we had this steep little area down here that had a windy path. And so what I've done is I've just spent a lot of time going through creating this path and then creating some terrain around it that kind of made it make sense. And boy, let me tell you guys, I dig it, man. I really like doing terrain modifications, terraforming, all that good stuff, and I think it looks so much better now. Unfortunately, we're not seeing it in the absolute best state because I've got my seasons texture pack on again, but now we're going a little bit slower. So fall time will come eventually, but as of right now, it's just springtime. But it'll get around here eventually. So over here, something that I did that I've heard people talk about, and I've done myself a lot, but for some reason could not think of how to do it. Right over here, this area right here felt open, and I wanted it to stay that way, but at the same time, I wanted to create a little bit of a closure. So I was trying to figure how do I do both at the same time, and what I did is I just kind of defined the path a little bit by placing in some broken gates here, which we've done in some areas before, or fence posts, I mean. And then over here I put in like a little bit of a false wall, like a build up to, you know, maybe the land was eroding away right here. We want it to be safe for everybody, so we came in and added a little bit of a wall there. And all of that little bit of a variation like that, I think just adds a lot of character to the area, and I dig it. Now, the end rods, I'm not so sure about, guys. Let me know in the comments below. You know, this is a kind of a series where we like to do everything together, so I need your help, guys. What do you think about that? I'm not so sure I like it. I think it looks really good when it gets dark and when it's more in the fall time. I may have to come through and do a little bit of cinematic for you guys to show you what that looks like, because it does look better. But right now, not the biggest fan. It's just kind of okay, I guess. I did go ahead and finish this bridge out as well. I say it's finished, but this is probably something I will come back to over time and just add things to it to kind of tweak it here and there. But at least feels a little bit more finished as it approaches the land here. So that's a good thing too. Oh, and something else I forgot about completely in the last episode is I was going to put some of these jungle trees out here. And so as you can see, in the springtime, it's got these little flowers on it, kind of reminiscent of a magnolia is kind of what my idea was. And I think it actually looks pretty good over here. You guys told me in the poll in the last video that I should definitely keep those flowers in the pack, and I think I agree. It's not so great in the jungle, but here it looks fantastic. So I've got that there, and you probably saw a couple bushes along the way. There's one right there that I kind of put throughout the park there. So I feel like this section of the park is doing pretty good. I kind of like it. I kind of like it a lot, guys. Let's stroll on over here because I did some more work. This tree over here, if you don't remember it, it's because it wasn't there before. Neither was this one, neither were a lot of these. So all I did is go through and I kind of like defined the paths here, like I said a minute ago, with some fence gates, and then I added in some trees, and that's all I did. And these are the trees from our big tree tutorial that we did a couple weeks back, and man, they look good. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what brings the world together. Just filling it in with a few things like this. Now, depending on what part of the world you're from, maybe this isn't normal for you. You know, if you're in a desert area, obviously you're not going to have trees like this everywhere. But where I live, you actually have a mixture of all kinds of different trees, and these trees are appropriately sized. They're bigger than the buildings that they're around, right? So this fills in the area real nicely. This area here in particular was kind of a straight stretch that I'm not a huge fan of. I might actually wind this road over this way right about this point here. But having these trees here, just a couple of them, really helps kind of fill things in and makes it feel just a lot closer, a lot tighter, and I like it. That's what I'm going for. Oh, we got some freaking out over here. I'm going to have to fix that animation apparently. But I will get to that next. And then I've also slowly but surely been going in and putting some lighting. You can almost see the glow. Yeah, you can kind of see it a little bit right there, some glowstone. But I've taken my own advice from the lighting tutorial video that I did, and I pushed these back in there, so you kind of have a hard time seeing the glowstone in most of these spots, but they still provide pretty good lighting. So I think that's pretty cool indeed. Now today, because I am digging this terraforming, I'm going to continue it, and we're going to do a build over in the park that we've been talking about. We're going to make that amphitheater, and we're going to kind of do a little bit of terrain generation to make it feel a little bit more natural. We're going to make it kind of fill into the area to feel like it was always part of it. And as you can see right here, I didn't point this out a minute ago, but I think that goes without saying. Just a little bit of a casual, natural transition there between the stone road with the bridge and then this here. I thought about putting stone and cobble paths out here, but this just feels so much better to me. I really like it. Now I thought about also getting a lot of soul sand and other components like that to give it a lot more texture on here, but I want this place to feel a lot more vibrant. Now that it's getting nighttime, you can see, it's awesome. I love it. Really like it, but I want this to feel really vibrant. This is like I said, almost a magical place, and that's why I put these up here, because those of course feel magical, and I really like it. And I'm just realizing apparently I didn't update my texture pack to include the natural end rods, but those actually fit in pretty good here. I've got a add-on resource packs that actually has these white at the base, I believe it is, and so I will probably add that on here as well. But for now, this is where we're going to go. Let me go to sleep before it gets too dark out here. But this is where we're going to be working right here today. We're going to set up a cool little amphitheater. Alright guys, I've been doing a little bit of organizing behind the scenes, and it's probably not the most interesting thing in the world, but I thought I would kind of bring you along and show you really quick, hopefully really quick, what I've been doing and why. I heard, I don't know if you guys know this, but I heard, let me get out my sword and I can kind of show you what we're talking about. This is a sword I've been using forever. Actually, which one? Oh, I still got it in me, okay. So my sword I've been using, I've got like the best of the best, right? Well, if you look down in the lower part of this, it shows when in the main hand, it has a 1.6 attack damage, or attack speed rather, and 10 attack damage. But I heard you can get even better on axes, and I thought, man, that'll be one less thing I got to carry in my hotbar, since I like to try to be efficient with the way that I access my hotbar to fight off enemies and all that good stuff. And so we came up with this thing right here. I actually found this. I think this was a fish. I think I got this from a mob because it has looting on it, and that's something I tried to add on to an axe previously, and it wouldn't let me. I'm not sure if that's a game mechanic or if just I had problems personally. Might be personal problems, I don't know. But anyways, this one I found I got off a mob. I grabbed it, I stole it away, and it had looting on it already, so I added everything that I could. The only thing it doesn't have that the sword has is fire aspect, but as you can see, it has a 12 attack damage, but this attack speed is a little slower. And also, it does not have sweeping edge, so there are certain instances this is definitely going to be better. When I go kill my chickens, it'll be good to cook them up for me, but it's kind of bad because of sweeping edge, whereas this one doesn't have sweeping edge. So, kind of give or take, but I think I'm going to start carrying around an axe a little bit more because it'll free up a slot in my hotbar, which will be very helpful. The other thing I did is I started collecting. I've been collecting weapons and axes and tools and all that good stuff for a while now, and so I've gotten organized, and basically I've named out everything, and I've got all the way through 4 or 5 of these bad boys, basically the best of the best, and then some bonuses over here that I've gotten from mobs or different things. And then what else do I got over here? I think I've got, oh yeah, this is my bonus chest, so if I ever am out and about and I lose something, then I can quickly access everything in my essentials box. And this is basically the number 2 of each thing. And I want to start doing this. I've lost stuff over time. Some of it's been my fault just from, damage and things. And some of it has been through different things in the world. For some reason, it takes the name off of it. And long story short, I switch back and forth between a server and doing single player on my computer. And sometimes that causes a few little things to mess up. So I want to keep track every time I lose stuff, and I'm naming stuff like this in a numerical order kind of thing, but that doesn't really matter. But the point is, the organization, baby, the organization I think is going to help us be a lot more efficient. Let's go tear down this this old beacon here. I really don't need it in that location anymore. We'll set it up for today's project, and then we will move it around as needed. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I don't know what the deal is with this, but I'm using Forge right now, and for some reason Forge does not want to render in my lily pads. I even downloaded a new Faithful texture pack. I might have to play around with it myself, see if I can fix that, because it's kind of weird looking. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, we'll hopefully fix that up here pretty soon. The beacon has been successfully transferred, so now we can get to work on the project at hand here. I'm trying to do something cool here, guys. It may not work out, but I'm recording with Forge on, trying to get a couple different perspectives going on, but my computer's freaking out. I don't think it knows how to handle it, so we'll see what happens. If you see some cool cinematic screenshots in this episode, you know it worked. If not, well, unfortunately it didn't. I apologize, but it's okay. No different than any other time. But yeah, let's go ahead and get carving this stinker out. I'm thinking we are going to have this, we're going to have seating on this side, and then we're going to have a stage over there on that other side there. But I need to carve it out a little bit more, but I was inspired by this little bit of a overhang right here, so we're going to make it overhang quite a bit more, carve out a little bit of a somewhat natural, hopefully somewhat natural looking amphitheater kind of situation, like a dome, I guess you could call it. Yeah, a dome, that's what it's called, right? So let's get started carving this stinker up. Aha! We have finished our little bit of a dome that we got going on here, and I think it's going to work out pretty good. This is the center of the dome. What I did is I started right here, and I think this is a 28 block diameter. I think I went 14 blocks that way for my bottom layer, and then I did the same thing this way. And fortunately, we were able to get a little bit of a dome on this side as well, which I think is going to look really cool once we get this all said and done. You can kind of see where it centered out right there at the top. And yeah, I think this is going to come together pretty good. Now, I've got this down here because what I'm going to do, and by the way, this that I'm hopping up right here, we're obviously going to have to work out this pathway differently because it kind of, you know, the dome and everything kind of cut into that. So we can work that out a little bit, but if I had filled this all in, it would make a complete dome, and I just obviously we just left these parts that were exposed. But I think this would be a really cool place to go to a concert or something. I mean, the acoustics would be amazing, and it would be beautiful. I think it would be awesome. So now the next step is to go ahead and make the stands, which I'm going to put on this side, and then the stage area, which I'm going to put over here, and we'll raise those. So right now the dome comes down. Originally I envisioned the dome stopping at about right here. Now we're not going to go that high with it, but it will be a little bit better. I was thinking it was going to be more of a shallow dome, but I ended up making it kind of tall. But I still think it's really cool, so I'm leaving it. I don't mind. But we're going to raise the stage up a little bit, and it'll make this semicircle right here, and we'll cut it off somewhere, kind of do a little cool thing somewhere, hopefully. And then on this side, we'll do another semicircle with the stands, and they will just kind of gradually go up right here. I think that'll be pretty cool indeed. And we did it, guys. Welcome back. Let's see what we did. We are currently seated in the stand area, and let's turn around and look at this stage, why don't we? There it is, guys. There it is. Super impressive, isn't it? Oh my goodness. Nah, I'm just joking. Man, this thing is so plain Jane. This is a simple build, and I know what you're thinking. It's asymmetrical. We'll address that in just a second. It looks kind of funky, right? Here's the deal, guys. Did a lot of looking around, did a lot of research, and this I feel like is fairly true to life for something that's kind of like this. Amphitheaters are pretty simple. They're there's just not a lot going on with them, honestly. And if we think about this, let's hop up here. We haven't finished our paths yet. We need to do that, but and that'll make it look a lot better as well. But look, this looks pretty cool, man. It really does. If you were to come around something like this, if you were to walk down a trail like this in this beautiful forest, right? And you had like a concert or some kind of play or performance you were going to go to, and then this is where it was located, like down in this valley between this two like huge mountains here, and like there's this trench or gorge right here, and then somebody had carved out the mountain itself and put up these big pillars. And then you've got, and this is pretty common, a lot of these stands are just grass only, so I kind of decked it out just a little bit, and I like the contrast. I like the color combo here. It looks pretty good. Might do a little bit of something down here still, but otherwise there really doesn't need to be anything else here. The reason it looks so asymmetrical, and I used a program, I can't remember what it's called, but there's a bunch of them out there to form circles or domes or whatever out of pixels, which is basically what you're doing in Minecraft. And so this dome should be fairly perfect. The thing is, the center of the dome is like right here, and it's an even numbered center. So it would be those 4 blocks right there or right here. And so it's off center from the gorge. But I wanted to do that. I think that makes it look cooler. There's more area for the stage, if I can get the words out. Guys, words are hard. I'm sorry, but they're hard. Anyway, so we ended up with a situation like this, and I think it looks pretty cool. I think this is actually how something that, if there is something out there in the world like this, it probably is fairly similar to this. Just the fact that it's carved out of the mountain, that alone is pretty cool. But because we're so limited in Minecraft, it's just regular stone. That doesn't feel very special, does it? But I like it, guys. I don't know what you guys think about it, but I dig it. I think it's pretty cool. Now, one thing I don't like is this right here. You guys know I don't like it when textures meet up like that. I want it to have something like down here. I tried that. It just doesn't work. And then I usually would extend it up, but I didn't like that either. And if I did that over here, then it would go way, way, way on up. If I extended it to go all the way to the sky, that would look crazy. So that's not cool either. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty much it. Not a whole lot going on, but I did that, centered it right here, and then from that same center, I created a little bit of a circle this way to create our benches here. And then on this side, I did something kind of similar, and then I curved it around this. So this has kind of a curve that does this, which you can't really, you know what, let's do this. Let's do this. Do I have some rockets on me? I do. Let's see if we can get magical flying straight up in the air. Oh yeah, see this thing from above. And I think it's going to look pretty cool. Now, our beacon is in the way right now. So that, which way are we facing? We're facing the right way, aren't we? That's going to kind of make a difference. Let's see if we can hop off here. Yes, we can. Perfect. So you kind of can't see it, but you get a hint of it, right? I think it's super cool. I think the idea is cool. You see this thing swinging over it. So here is the idea, guys. We've got layers upon layers upon layers. This park doesn't just stretch out horizontally along the land. It has layers vertically. You've got this cool, mystical, magical forest area. Down below that, you're going to have a beach. Up above that, you've got this swinging rope bridge that will lead to this thing that towers above everything. Down below it all, you've got this cool amphitheater, auditorium kind of thing. And then eventually we'll have a resort thing up here. All in all, I think all of these parts are going to come together and be really cool. This one thing by itself, I know it's pretty plain for what you're used to seeing me build. At least I like to think that I build stuff a little more detailed and intricate than this. But like I said, it's part of a bigger picture, and I don't really think there'd be anything else that I'd want to do to this. Honestly, I think it's pretty cool the way it is. So you guys let me know. Now, there is one major thing I need to do to this place. You guys are going to have to help me out on this. I need to name it, guys. I need to name this place. So we'll do a couple things. If you guys want to give me a really cool suggestion in the comment, it is an amphitheater of some sort. It needs a name. Maybe I name it after the person who leaves the coolest comment. I don't know. I haven't decided quite yet, but that one's up in the air. You guys have fun giving me suggestions on that. Could be silly, could be serious, could be fun. We are in the Flora Springs Park, so I don't know if that's going to have any influence on you or not, but maybe it will. Next up, we need to go ahead and get our trail going out here, and that'll go back out into the trail system that goes all along the island. And then, of course, we need our main entrance over here to look good as well. Alright guys, I've got a little bit of a path worked out down here. This is not going to be our main entrance, but a little bit of a trail that will go off into the rest of the island that I have got going in some other areas. And also, I got this main path worked out. I think it turned out pretty good. I kind of dig it a little bit. And by the way, oh my goodness, frog in the throat a little bit there. Good grief. But yeah, you guys thought I was all done with this place. Come on. I don't think there's a whole lot else to do here, but that doesn't mean we can't deck out the rest of this place, right? So we got this big thing here, this canopy, you know, kind of ugly spider web going on there. Maybe I'll take that away. I don't know, but for now, I think it looks okay. It looks good, especially, you know, from under here, it's cool. I like seeing that color out there, by the way. That's pretty cool there, too. So pretty good view down there, but also as you come into the place, as you can see, there's a little bit of a kind of a false cave up there, and I've actually got another one up there. Can we see, you know, I put all this detail into it and you can't even see it, but maybe we take a look at it and, you know what, like, let's do that. Let's take a look at it in creative mode because I'm going to have to spend my whole time flip-flopping around all over the place, and I gotta hurry up and finish this episode. There's a lot more I can do to this thing, obviously, but we did our little stair-steppy thing here going on with a little bit of a fun vibe with the transition there. As well as over here, I started putting stuff in, and I decided instead of just adding the different kinds of layers that I did, let's make, or the different kinds of textures rather, let's make actual layers. And so that's what I did here. I wanted some droopiness coming down. So come down here and you can kind of see this hanging down, and I think that's cool. I don't know about you guys, I think it's cool, but I decided, like here, for example, let's make this whole underneath layer cobblestone. It may not make sense as far as, like, you know, some person probably didn't go up there and place that cobblestone. Maybe they did. I don't know. We don't have to know all the rules. We just know that it looks good. So everything doesn't have to be super realistic, I guess. But here's same thing. I just basically just use a different kind of texture in the background is what I'm doing. Put some walls up there, another little false cave here, and then I added some of these droopies here. I don't really know what this is about. It kind of reminds me of the stalagmites and stalactites and stuff in a cave. It's almost like this is an open cave, right? So it's definitely not stalagmite and stalactites because of how those form. There's no way this could have formed, but enough being serious, Spartan. Get to the point of the aesthetics. That's what we're here for, right? So anyways, that's pretty much it, guys. But I think that little bit that we added, all those little things here, that's what we're all about, those little things, right? They really, overall, they add to a bigger picture, and I think that's pretty cool. Also, guys, good news. I didn't realize this, but apparently my texture pack with the changing seasons, I thought it restarted every time you logged into the game. Well, anyways, there's a reason I thought that, but no reason to explain it. But the point is, it does not necessarily do that. I just logged in to make this recording just a minute ago, and look at this. They're all in the fall season, so it looks pretty cool, right? I don't think we had a chance at the beginning of the episode to see this all finished out in the fall time here, so we'll give it one more gander as we get to our outro here. So guys, this is pretty much going to wrap it up this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found something inspirational out of it. And any hoozle, guys, thanks for watching. As always, take it easy. Check me out on Twitter to stay up to date, Discord, all that good stuff, downloads in the description, all the fun stuff as usual. But as always, guys, take it easy, and until next time, keep it creative.